Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Board of Selectmen and acting as Wage and Personnel Board as needed, meeting of December 20th, 2021, 4:00 p.m. here in Lakeville, Massachusetts. Is anyone other than LakeCAM recording the meeting? No one that I see, no one in the chat. All right. In accordance with provisions allowed by Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, the December 20th, 2021 public meeting of the Lakeville Board of Selectmen will be held remotely. However, to view this meeting in progress, please go to facebook.com/LakeCAM, and you do not need a Facebook account to view the meeting. This meeting will be recorded and available to be viewed at a later date at www.lakecam.com/. So agenda item number 1, we have Board of Selectmen announcements. I just want to make sure that everyone in town knows that there will be some closings for the holiday schedule. You can refer to the town's website under the news section to find these, but in brief, Town Hall will be closed on Thursday, December 23rd, Friday, December 24th, and of course, Saturday, we will be closed because it's Christmas, but we're closed on Saturdays anyways. And then Town Hall will be closed on December 31st, Friday, next week for New Year's Day. The transfer station, which may be of importance to some people, will be closed this week, Friday and Saturday. And then next week on January 1st, it will be closed on Saturday. Again, those dates and times can be found on the website. Just a reminder too, as we go into the holiday season, for those of you celebrating with family and friends, you can return your cans to the transfer station, your deposit cans, and that money gets donated from Mucky's Liquors to the Parks Department. So they go in and they take those, they count them up for us, and then they turn around and give the money to the Parks Department. So that's where you can, if you don't feel like doing it yourself, you can put your cans there and the town will get the money for that. I just want to wish everyone a very nice, healthy holiday season. It's definitely been another interesting year dealing with COVID, but I think the town has done very well. We have very dedicated staff that continue to go above and beyond. And we have some really good citizens who, you know, have helped in every way they can by following the rules and trying to go along with, you know, all the things that we're doing and being generous in their thanks, you know, especially to the fire department and the police department for, you know, all the work that they've been doing. We had a lot of nice comments this year from the a lot of citizens in town on the DPW and the work that they did to clean up really quickly after a couple of storms. So I just want to wish everyone, all the employees and all the residents in town, a very happy holiday season. And I'll open that up to Rich LaCamera and Lorraine Carboni for any of their announcements or comments.
Madam Chair, I don't have any. Not
I'm all
today.
set, Madam Chairman.
Okay.
Thank you.
So if that's it with announcements, we'll go to town administrator announcements.
Thanks, Madam Chair. I'll try to keep this relatively brief. The Attorney General has approved Article 9 from the Fall Town Meeting, which changes the Board of Selectmen to the Select Board. Implementation will be rolled out over the next several months. The first step will be a change to the website and letterhead, which will take place effective January 1. The title change will also be incorporated into the recodification, which is already underway and planned for submission to the Springtown meeting. Staff will revise existing board policies accordingly as well. And of course, the expedited approval by the AG allows us to phrase the ballot for the spring election accordingly as well. We had the first meeting today of the Town Hall Fire Station Feasibility Study. The consultants from CBI are beginning their assessment of space needs and current conditions. They're currently planning on the deliverable of the final report by springtime. There'll be a lot of interaction ahead of that. The annual town meeting will be in May. Right after the first of the year, we're going to be polling staff, boards, and commissions in January for articles. The budget process is moving on schedule. We've completed our preliminary meetings with departments last week. The proposed budget will be presented to the board on January 24th. And finally, just to reiterate, COVID continues to spread throughout the community. Our positivity rate is up significantly over the past several weeks, so it has leveled off a bit. It's important for everyone to mask up and get vaccinated, and please wear masks inside town buildings as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Next, we will go to number 3, which is discuss and possible vote to appoint Mark Resnick as town planner. This has been a long time coming. It's been something that's been discussed in Lakeville for a long time. So I personally am pleased to have this on the agenda. So Mark, Ari, I will let you do the talking here.
So I'll give a quick overview, and then Mark, if there's anything you want to say, feel free, as well as Mark as well. So both Marks. The town planner position has been widely advertised. We received 13 applications, 3 of whom subsequently withdrew. There are several rounds of interviews that were held over the course of the summer and the fall. The interview panel consisted of Mark Knox, planning board chairman, John Oliveri, the ZBA chairman, Nate Darling, building commissioner, former HR director Clorinda Dunphy, and myself. And I'm pleased to inform you that the panel unanimously recommended Mark Resnick, who's with us tonight, for the position. Mark has an impressive background in municipal planning. Previously served as a town planner in the towns of Lincoln, New Hampshire, and Foxborough, the director of planning and development for the town of Salisbury, and as the director of community development for the city of Brockton. He's been self-employed since 2014, working on real estate investment and rehabilitation projects, and is excited to re-enter municipal government. So I respectfully request that an acknowledgement of his extensive government experience, that the town offer Mark a salary of $82,000 and provide 3 weeks vacation in recognition of his advanced status in his career. Appreciate your consideration on this. And Mark, if you want to weigh in a little bit, Mark Resnick, talk a little about yourself. And then Mark Knox, if you have anything to say as well.
Well,
No, I just want to be present. The selectmen have any questions?
Thank you, Mark. Mr. Resnick.
Yes. Well, I'd like to say hello to everybody, and hopefully we'll be talking a lot more, meeting a lot more. I'm excited about getting back into municipal government and city planning. I've taken a break and done something I've always wanted to do. I was a little ahead of the curve as far as people going after their dreams. So now it's time to get back and do what I've been trying to do. And Lakeville's an exciting place. It's very similar to some of the other communities where I'm the first planner to step in and really kind of come in and help the community kind of take the next step in its development. So I'm really happy to be here. Great.
So nothing from you, Mark?
Okay.
Mark Knox.
No, I mean, as Ari said, it was a lengthy process. We were very thorough. Mr. Resnick has an impressive resume. He was actually in Foxborough, Massachusetts when Patriot Place was developed. And I think there was another state rehabilitation project at that time, Mark. So he's got a lot of experience with larger projects. I think he'll be good to work with for myself and the town, building commissioner, as well as zoning board of appeals. So I think it'll be a good fit.
Great, thank you. You know what, Ari, what I don't have is in front of me is an exact motion. So
motion to authorize the hiring of Mark Resnick for the town planner position at a salary of $82,000 a year and provision of 3 weeks annual vacation.
All right.
That's what I've asked for.
Okay.
It's up to all of you.
So moved. So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
No, the only thing I want to say is I want to thank Ari and Mark and the committee and for doing a good job, because this has taken a while. You know, there's not a lot of town planners out there, Mark. So, you know, I know that the committee was very picky and very thorough in the research, and I think you guys have done a great job. And I'm thrilled to have Mark start here as the town planner for the town of Lakeville.
Maureen?
If I just may, I know this is a long time coming for us with a planner, and so we're happy to have you on board, Mark. I know that there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and there's a good team in place with our planning board and our board of selectmen, and the rest of our boards and committees and commissions. So I'm sure that we'll work to keep you really busy. I just again, I mean, I know, Ari, you were going to be working on the wage and personnel, about trying to get some language in place regarding professional folks coming in, that have a strong background. So therefore, with the 3 weeks, that I'm a little challenged on supporting that at this time, but I do support the fact that Mark is here and welcome him aboard.
Okay. So I just want to reiterate that similarly to the other selectmen, that this has been a long process for us. I've been a selectman now for 2.5 years, and this is something that I, wanted to see a long time ago. So I think this is great for us. I couldn't think of a better way to end this year other than hiring a town planner. Hooray. So your presence here will be it was much anticipated, and looking forward to meeting you in person and working with you. So if there's no other discussion, all those in favor?
Carboni, nay.
Okay. LaCamera, aye, and Fabian, aye. All right. Welcome, Mark. And I really do look forward to meeting you in person. Not sure what the start date is. Do we have a start date?
After the new year, right, Mark?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. All right. Looking forward to it. Happy holidays to you and your family, and really welcome to Lakeville. I think you'll like it here.
Thank you. I'm sure I
Thank
will.
Thanks.
Welcome.
Okay. All right.
Welcome aboard, Mark. Welcome
Thank
aboard.
you.
So Mark Knox, do you have any quick update on planning board you want to give us, or anything? Is, planning board excited to have a planner?
We are. We look forward to working with Mark. I guess at some point I'd like to maybe have a conversation with you about how interaction will work, short-term, long-term, just because I feel like there's the chain of command through the town administrator, and I just want to make sure we're not stepping on toes. I would like
Okay.
to work with Mr. Resnick to maybe go through the planning board rules and regulations to do some updates. And again, from a transparency standpoint, I want to let you know what I would intend to do, and I'd like the blessings of the select board to do that. I think you guys all know that I have the best intentions towards town.
Yep.
And I guess that's all I'm looking for, is just permission for guidance.
Sure. I'm sure, Ari, we can work on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yep. And again, at this time of year, I just want to thank the planning board. The planning board's had a very, busy. I think sometimes folks underestimate how much work you all do. The planning board itself is volunteer. And again, I don't think most people out there know how much work you folks actually put in. And it's a lot. So from me anyways, me personally, I just want to thank everyone on the planning board. I do think we have I think this year is the year we only have one spot up for
I believe
so I think
Barbara's spot.
yeah. So anyways, happy holidays to you and your family as well.
Thank you.
All right, so if that's it on that, I think we can go to agenda item number 4.
Great.
Discuss and possible vote to approve host community agreement charitable contribution recommendation. So Ari, what I'm going to do first is just ask you to explain a little bit what this is exactly, so folks at home know what kind of money this is that we're spending.
Leah,
Happy
if I
to.
could.
Yep.
I'm going to log out, but I wanted to say happy holidays to everybody.
Okay, thank you, Mark.
Thank you,
Happy
Mark.
holidays,
Happy
Mark.
holidays.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we have
You
two
can tell-
active.
you can Tell Mark he doesn't have
Yeah,
to hang
Mr.
around.
Resnick,
go
you
too,
can-
Mark.
You can
Okay.
go too if you want. Happy holidays.
All right,
Thank
well,
you.
thank you. Happy holiday and
Happy
hope to
holidays.
meet all of you in the new year. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, so the town has 2 active cannabis concerns operating in Lakeville. They each provide annual contributions of $10,000 each for charitable activities. Currently, we have $20,000 on hand awaiting distribution. At the June 28th meeting, the Board of Selectmen voted to establish an advisory subcommittee to develop recommendations regarding the disposition of these funds. In addition to myself and Selectman LakeCAM, the subcommittee consists of Delia Murphy from the Historical Commission, Patrick Marshall from the Library Board, Paula Ferdima from the COA, Darlene Donnelly from the Parks Commission, and Jackie Kennedy from the Arts Council. The committee's met several times over the past few months to develop an application form and solicit proposals for community projects from the town's various community service operations and agencies. On December 7th, the subcommittee recommended the following initial project set for funding. 3 recommendations for the Council on Aging: a holiday grab-and-go meals program for $1,820, a smart TV for the activity room for $999, Tai Chi classes for $2,600, 3 projects for the library mini golf program for $925, a Smash Brothers tournament, which is a video game tournament, for $375, and the STEM series program for $1,000. And then 3 for the Parks Commission, specifically parking lot stone for Clear Pond parking lot, $4,000. Improvements to the John DeCarlo Fitness Trail for $1,500, and cleanup around the Gormash Playground for $1,500. The total recommendation set is $14,719, which is what we'd ask the board to approve tonight. In addition, there are 2 projects in the planning stage. They'll be brought forward after funding needs have been clarified. Those involve a proposal for streetscape improvements along Bedford Street, signage, banner signage, which Selectman Cameron and I have been working on with MGE, and the development of a cover structure for the outdoor stage behind Old Town Hall, which is going to require some engineering work to figure out what that costs. Also, there's a request for the Lakeville Garden Club to finance landscaping at the Lakeville Historical Society. That was fairly expensive and it was deferred for now. I invited the members of the subcommittee to attend the meeting tonight. Did they? I guess we don't have any here tonight to speak, but the recommendations were unanimous. So I'll be happy to answer any questions. I'm sure Selectman LakeCAM would as well.
Okay. Can I just make a correction for the playground? I believe it's Gamache, G-A-M-A.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
That's correct.
C-H-E.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want
Sorry
to make
about
that.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
that's okay. Nope. Not a big, I mean, it kind of is a big deal, but it's a simple oversight. So we have $20,000 is what you said so far and to be spent. So we've accounted for 14,719 with these recommendations, right?
Right. The
Yeah,
remainder will stay there. We had the first 10,000 for some time. It's nothing's going to happen to this money if you don't allocate it right away.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. I mean, I did like the application too. It's pretty simple, straightforward. Read through some of this. It just seems just like a much it's a simple process, and, you know, I appreciate that for everyone that's involved. And I kind of like, I know every single one of these, including Smash Brothers tournament. So I think all of these are pretty important. So I don't know if someone wants to make a recommendation, and then we can continue discussing. Make a motion.
I have to make the motion because Lorraine works for one of the marijuana companies, so.
Oh, okay. All right, Rich.
So I will make a motion to approve the projects presented in the amount of $14,719.
All right, I will step down and second. In any, I mean, as far as discussion is concerned, I'm really glad to see that, you know, it's divided up, especially the first one there, the holiday grab and go meals for the Council on Aging. Something, you know, it was just so effective at keeping in touch with our seniors, and has been since COVID started. I can't tell you how important that is, just for the staff at the COA to be able to notice who's coming, who's not coming. They're so good at knowing who, you know, the clients are, and I can't tell you how important it is for us to continue to do things like that. So hugely supportive of that. Any other comments, Rich? Anything?
Almost set. Thank
No?
you.
Okay. All right. If there's no other discussion, then all those in favor?
The camera, aye.
Fabian, aye.
Carboni abstain.
Okay. Thank you, Ari, for all that work. That's great. I mean, that is like another really nice way to, you know, to end the year
Yeah,
on good news for the Council on Aging, the library, and the Park Commission. You know, it's just nice to be able to end the year with some of this good information, good news. Okay, so we have one next agenda item is number 5. We have one common victular license to approve. I believe it did come in on time. We just somehow it was put on the list, whatever. So I will entertain a motion to approve the renewal application for common victular license for MAJJT Properties LLC, doing business as Fat Cousins at 166 County Street. License would now expire December 31st, 2022.
So moved.
Second,
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Carboni, aye.
the camera, aye.
Fabian, aye. And that brings us to new business. I don't think I have any new business. Does anyone have new business?
I'm all set.
Okay,
Good.
Ari, anything? Nope.
no,
Old business? Old business, going once, going twice. Can we just, does anyone have the dates in front of them of Selectmen's meetings so we can just refresh?
I do.
I
Hold
think
on.
it's
So
January.
January 10th.
Yep.
January 24th.
Yep. Which we
then,
said will be budget, right?
And yes, and February 8th through 10th, you have budget meetings.
Yep.
And then February 14th. And then you are off the week of the 21st and the 28th, which is my doing. And then, let's see here, March 7th and March 21st.
All right. Okay, we have those dates, and anything else that can properly come before the Board of Selectmen. I just also want to thank again the staff and everybody,
Yeah,
especially you, Ari, for coming in and really hitting the ground running. And you've done a tremendous amount of work in a really short amount of time. So you know,
could have been done with about the people we have. We have a terrific staff.
yeah, you're absolutely right about that. But I think most of the staff is pretty fond of you at this point, so you're very efficient, I've been told. So anyways, so that's it for me. So if no one else has anything, then anyone?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
Okay. All those in favor? Any discussion? All those in favor?
Carboni, aye.
The camera eye.
Baby and I. All right. Thank you, everyone. Happy
you.
holidays. Merry Christmas.